And grandpas, whoever is watching, we are now live with the SOR Monaco Grand Prix. I am here with Shiv, the main commentator actually, but I am here today for you as well. Polar Hayes, you might know me from a couple of seasons ago, and I am replacing Justin today and hope to commentate a very interesting race. We will have today a merged race from Split 1 and Split 2, so we have 19 drivers for you going through the very narrow streets of Monaco and hopefully getting us something to watch for. Yeah, I'm also looking forward to, as you said, the first part of the Triple Crown. We have a lot of quick drivers here today, and also it's interesting to look how the drivers of the two splits, who also differ a bit in their pace, will come together, and if there will be any incidents based on that. Of course, we hope this will not be the case, but who knows? And right now I got a weather report from one of the drivers, Maple, who is saying there will be rain in the race until the 30-minute mark, which spices things a bit as well. And I think I lost connection to Discord, which is really bad. I need to tab out quickly, guys. I'm sorry for that. I need to fix that quickly. I'm sorry for that. It never happened before. So I'm not sure why this is exactly the case. But I will be with you in a minute. And hopefully my other commentator Shiv as well. So what the? Hello there. I don't know. For some reason, the SR Discord completely disappeared from me. I don't even have it in the list anymore. Yes, so there should be some problem with the Discord, but we are now back for you here live at the Monaco Grand Prix. Obviously, the drivers can't communicate anymore, but we are still here, want to see that race, and now we can also continue commentating. So welcome back in the stream, Shiv. Yeah, it's milliseconds. Yeah, it's milliseconds. Yeah, for me as well, I have to mention that Fruitful is in a hot lap, which we're watching right now. And for me, he crashed as well. So there seems to be some slight lobby lag. And this is a problematic with those F1 games because they're working on a peer-to-peer network system. And basically, a bad connection from one side can influence any other driver, which is really a shame. And this is why we probably will see a couple of those moments, like with Inaudible Gamer. We have Rootful and Pixel, they're both AlphaTauris with great times. And before we continue looking at those laps, I want to tell you something I told you while I was disconnected, so I obviously thought you're listening. And it's very interesting, we will have rain for the first 30 minutes of the race, I was told by one of the drivers. So that is the reason why many drivers are going out on these softs, because they don't have to care about the tires. They have free tire choice because it will be raining anyway, and it's just about setting the fastest time you can without even giving a thought of saving your tires. And this is what they're doing right now. Oh, sorry, there is a 5 place grid penalty for Eisen for a collision with Johnny X. So he will be resetted for 5 places in Monaco, and this is a huge deal for a driver of the class of Eisen. of you. Yeah, I find it incredibly that futuristic, actually a split 2 driver gets P2. I mean, just the intermediate times, those guys will still improve, I'm pretty sure about that. It's still 7 minutes of qualifying left and they have a couple of soft sets they want to use on those qualifying flying laps. So for now, it's pretty much what I have expected. We have Rootful and Ison in the top positions. We have Pixel in P2. I know that he was practicing a lot and he had also 3 Grand Prix last week here, so he's pretty experienced for the moment being. We have Futuristic on P6, and this is what I have been talking about before. I'm still surprised seeing him in the first half of the grid so far up, because he's originally split 2 drivers, so we'd expect him to be in the second half where split 2 drivers belong, so to say. Yeah, but still seems to have been a really good lap from him, and he still has room to improve, although, as you say, the clouds are not tightening on the sky, so it might be that the track will decrease its temperature and grip will be lower than it was before. So that means the times won't go up anymore, and this would be crucial for everyone who's in the second half right now. And also speaking of Ison, I mean, he's P3 right now, he will go back to P8, and you already mentioned how difficult it is here to overtake, and a driver of his format, he will have to prove all of his class, all of his mastery to overtake on that track and get in the positions where he really belongs to. It's raining. It's raining. It started raining. Huh. Yeah, I've noticed a couple of questionable things. Like like Shoik did retire pretty much on the straight out of the tunnel, which is definitely will be seen on the FIA after the race. Also, Ayazin just drove straight in turn one, but I believe the qualifying was over anyway, so that's not that bad. And yeah, we have two people who didn't set a time, which is of course bad for them, especially on a track like Monaco. But what was interesting is that Inaudible improved his time by 2/10, even in the rain conditions in the end. And I didn't really think that would be a thing, because like the rain starts, you expect the track to lose grip and to get like less temperature and things, but he somehow managed to improve his lap and stay on this P7 in front of Futuristic, who also improved, and Eisen was only 64 thousandths of his fastest lap. Maybe that's why he was so frustrated because of the rain, but I don't know. So like it was more interesting towards the end than I expected. I thought people will just, you know, abandon and retire from the session like with 5 minutes left, but it did not. They still used the time to improve and to form this final grid. And yeah, so this is what we will start with. Obviously with Eisen, as you said, reset it for 5 positions to the back, but yeah, you can basically already see how we will start. And what is really interesting for now for me is to see what the weather conditions will be. We know it will be raining, but it might be like an intermediate or even a full wet start, or maybe even a slick start. I mean, the game is already good for surprises. There could be some interesting move of events, or turn of events, better to say. So yeah, we don't know that. And for some reason, the time is 1 second left and is not going down anymore. So this is a lobby bug I had already yesterday. And I hope the lobby won't crash, or there won't be any interference, and we can continue with the race without restarting this whole thing. I wouldn't be too sure about that. Like the game, sometimes, you know, there's heavy rainfall, but you always have to look at the road. So looking at the road, I think it will be intermediates rather. Like there are not many, you know, water places, so the track still looks kind of okay. But I don't want to bet with you, so it might be also a full wet race. We'll see. Yeah, exactly what I wanted to say. The tunnel will be an interesting place. As you said, it is pretty dry. I think it's completely dry even. And you have to still do a turn at a very, very high speed. You're going with wet tires and dry conditions, so this could end badly if you can't judge it very well. And as you said, the internal rivalry on AlphaTauri will be an interesting one, but also a surprising one. Like, looking at the results throughout the season, Pixel is not quite at the pace of Rootful generally. So it seems to be a really good track for him, at least in terms of pace, but we don't know how it is about his setups. Like, we have a rainy race, so maybe Rootful just changed to a wet setup, or he has just a high dive more setup, why Pixel does not. We don't know. But anyway, we are preparing for the starts now. We have 90 cars here. They're all on wet tires, and we will hopefully see a very interesting race. There will be a couple of safety cars, I can predict it right away, and probably no one will end in the position they are starting because the grid will be shuffled out. But these are all predictions, and now we will see what happens really. We are preparing for the starts. The cars formed up to the grid. We have two AlphaTauri starting from the front. We have two Mercedes behind, and I can't wait for these cars to start moving into the first corner. I hope they take it carefully. And now the lights are on. The lights go off. Of course, no one is moving. One is actually moving for some reason. Two cars are moving. What is happening? The lobby seems to be desynced. No one can move. Oh, this is really bad. Oh, now they're moving. Yeah, now they're moving, so they started. Rootwell gets a very good start. Pixel, not really much, but he stays in P2, and somehow Hooter is P3. Maple, very bad start. He loses 2 positions. He's even behind his teammate, and we have already a virtual safety car. Something happened there in the back, and they are front wing flying over the place. It's... And you already see a 1.3 second gap between Rootful and Pixel, while Pixel's getting hunted down by Hude. Obviously overtaking is very hard. Pixel holds onto this position, but he gives his teammate a lot of space to get away on this P1. We have an Audible Gamer with already a 3-second time penalty so early in the race, and there will be a couple of front wing changes in the end of this lap, so we will see people going into the pits because of this chaotic lap 1. Pixel has now some space towards P3. We have Maple who's catching up to Fungus. We have AZ already with a 3-second time penalty, but with a broken front wing, so he couldn't do much about that. And we have the first 3 drivers split already. Eisen is now close to Maple. They both have really much wheel spin while going out of the last corner, and Eisen can't make the move down. It's really difficult, so no blame to him. We have a yellow flag already in sector 3. That's still AZ with his broken front wing, so it wouldn't probably be a safety car. They still keep going, and Eisen is on the back of Maple. This is the most intense fight right now. Also, the Mercedes are blocking each other off. They should do some... Oh no, Fungus also almost spins out, and Maple runs in the back of him. There's real carnage. Maple overtakes now, so no team strategy. There's just a mistake from GC Fungus, and Eisen is now on the back of him, but he still can't overtake. There's just no space on this track, and also no grip on these wet tires. So really interesting, intense starting phase in here, and those 3 are just going side by not side by side, sorry, behind each other, and an Audible Gamer is still in this group just waiting for his opportunity to maybe do an overtake. Both McLarens are out! What happened there? I wonder if this was a fight between those two, or they just did mistake in the same lane, but both of them are out in the swimming pool chicane. We have a drive-through penalty for Fox, and we have almost someone colliding with a safety car. I believe it was Fungus, so there's a lot of carnage even under safety car conditions on this track and these weather conditions. Fungus has a broken front wing, I suppose. I can see it. He's missing his right front end plate. So I wonder if he will pit now under safety car conditions or not. Like, track positions is the most important thing here. But you have seen how much slower he was than his teammate Maple. So it might be beneficial for him to pit for a new front wing and continue the race further back, but with more grip to not make so many mistakes. We have only 17 drivers left now, and for some reason the Williams with Poofy Waffle still did not overtake the both McLarens. I wonder if he's just disconnected for me because he stopped on track there for... Yeah, he's disconnected for some reason. Yeah, so technically... Yeah, technically we have 16 drivers right now, and yeah, there's not much action going on off track, and now all the drivers have to rethink what they want to do. Like, obviously you don't want to give up your track position, but now is the safety car, now is the time to maybe pit on your final set of tires and go to the end. I have really no experience how long the wet tires hold on this track, so whether or not you can go, you know, from the start to the end, or you can go from now to the end. And indeed, Fungus goes into the pits, wants to change his front wing. It was really bad, I think, to drive with the grip levels in the wet with a broken front wing, and he will lose a lot of positions, but hopefully have a more calm time driving after his pit stop. So he moves, I believe he will end up in P10. Yes, he will end up in P10. I'm pretty sure about that. So now, after the start in the safety car, we have the following. We have Rootful on 1, we have Pixel on 2. They didn't change positions. Although Pixel was way slower than his teammate, he still managed to fight for this P2 and stay there. We have Huda on P3, who had a wonderful start. He got both Mercedes off start before the first corner, so he must have had immeasurable grip from the start-finish line. We have Maple on P4, who after some trouble could stabilize and still get that position. We have Eisen, who is hungry for getting many more positions. He already got 3 and he wants to get further up the grid. Yeah, I know why he got a penalty. If you see on the minimap, he just passed a Williams, and we know that one of the Williams, Poofy Waffle, is disconnected. So probably he tried to overtake, and he did overtake the disconnected car and got a penalty for that, which is really unfair. But if he will serve it into the pits when pitting on the other side of on the other set of wet tires, they won't be able to remove it, the FIA. So he's in a very bad position here, getting an unfair penalty and probably even have to serve it. So really unlucky for him because of this disconnect. Yeah, but he has to move on. He has to think forward. He has to look to the upcoming laps and make the best out of his situation. Yes, and we almost had a crash under safety car conditions in the back between Johnny and Choik, which is really unusual. I think Choik almost ran into the back of John or Johnny or whatever. And yeah, so this was a hairy moment, but there was no penalty given from the game, so I guess they didn't make contact. And I must say, I'm really happy Poofy Waffle DNF'd. Like, of course, it's really bad for him. I'm really sorry for that. But I mean, if I'm right and he already caused a 5-second time penalty because of his bad connection, this is really a good thing that he just retires to not make more trouble to his colleagues and just stays out of this race. Like, sometimes internet connection is not your friend, so you have to do what is best for everyone. And we have Louis pitting now, which is really strange. I think he will... Oh yeah, he goes into the pits and the crew is not ready for some reason. The crew was not ready, although he has the longest way through the pits of all teams because he's in the Williams and they still weren't ready. So this is really unusual. He changes his front wing, so he must have got damage under safety car conditions, which is really strange. And now he has to catch up for half a lap to the queue in wet conditions. I'm not really sure if he can make it because I think the safety car will go in this lap. So he's in a really bad position right now. And also, like, speaking of the of the pit stop situation, everyone from P10 downwards was already in the pits at least once. Louis was twice and all the other drivers once. And that could mean, I'm not sure, but that could mean they don't have to pit anymore. But I'm pretty sure. Yes. And so what I wanted to say, the others might have to pit. still. So this could be like meaning P10, like Fungus, Jack, and so on being a very good position. But this is just hypothetical. We don't know how long the tires last. We are now concentrating on the restart. Rootful is still P1 trying to heat up his tires. There's already a little 1.4 second gap to Pixel. So Pixel is backing the field up, which is kinda illegal, and he gets even overtaken by Hude before the start finish line because he's going so slow, and they will now fight in the P1. Pixel closes the door. He don't want to release Hude on his teammate, so he still stays in P2, and there's a fight back between Eisen and Maple, and Eisen has to back up because there was no space. Maple was fighting for his life to not giving this position away, and now Hude is still at the back of Pixel, so he could try and overtake in here a dive. No, he's not doing it. He's thinking better. We have Eisen still side by side of Maple. Maple is just parking his car everywhere, and Eisen has no chance to get this overtake, although he's really much faster. But this is just Monaco. This is too narrow. This is not enough space, and this is what he's witnessing right now, being in this bad position. So he's backing up now, waiting for a better chance to do that. Further in the back, we have Fungus, who's catching up to Choik. Choik didn't pit yet, so he's on worse tires. Maybe got also worse restart. And this is the closest fight we have so far. So in the front, there are already a 3.6 second gap after the first lap between Pixel and Rootful. So he's really doing a good job for the AlphaTauri team here, giving his teammate basically a free win here because he's just not quick enough. We have John at the back of Futuristic, hunting him down for P7. They're going really, really slowly and careful through these wet conditions. I totally understand that you don't want to throw this race away, especially if you're already in the point position. Rootful is doing a new fastest lap with a 1:26.4. Should be a pretty good one under these conditions, and this would mean 26 points for him in the championship. We have a fight going on between Colini. Oh no, sorry, he was in the pits. Okay, there's no fight there. But where is the fight? It's between John and Futuristic, and John is very good exit from him there, from turn 1. But again, there is just no place. If you park your car smartly on this track, you give absolutely zero chance for an overtake to whoever is behind you, and John is now losing up to the P6 driver because Futuristic is just way slower than him. And we have now both Alfa Romeos pitting for some reason, and they will block each other off, which is really bad for Fox. Oh, okay, he's retiring, so he doesn't care that he gets blocked off. And now we have only 15 drivers left. 2 of them have 2 pit stops, and 4 of them has already 1 pit stop. And so far, the race seems to have stabilized. Yellow flag. We have yellow flag. Oh, it was just the card in, I think. Sorry, yeah. Oh, Pixel making a mistake, sorry again, Pixel making a mistake, he is going to pits, he almost gets Hude in the pits as well, and now Maple overtakes Hude as well. Oh my god, what is happening here? Maple is now P2 because Hude almost had to go into the pits as well, together with Pixel. Pixel just get a very bad exit off this corner and almost get Hude with him. So now Hude lost the position of Maple, he must be furious. It's now 1.2 seconds already, he now has to catch up all the work he did previously after the restart, and now he has even Ison behind him, who is also very quick, so he might have to fight for even P3. This is really unlucky for the Renault driver. Oh my. No. Oh, wait. No, 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 wait, we got this. Say something?
Hello.
Yeah, okay. That's, I didn't,
Huh.
I think,
Was I muted this entire time?
I don't think so. But I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
I'm sorry if this was the case. I'm not sure. It shouldn't though. Because normally the like the sound source changes automatically. Like on my Streamlabs, I have the sound source picking automatically, and now I have earphones which I
Oh, just
normally.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but like
Yeah.
Ison just spun out on the chicane at the moment. Was that gonna give him an excuse to potentially change his tires as Hood in P8 has left the session? I think he's just disconnected. He might just reconnect after that. But I think I was muted the entire time. Hello, my name's Shiv. Thank you for joining me. I had a whole comment. Jeez,
Yeah, if
that's
this was the
interesting.
case, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Like honestly, whoever hears him now, he did a really good job commentating, and like, okay, I must have fucked up, so sorry for that. Yeah, so but getting back to the race, so we can apologize later as well. We have still Eisen running in P1, so he didn't change tires for some reason, which I think was a mistake because you've seen Pixel going really, really quick. Meanwhile, there was also Futuristic making a mistake and losing places to his teammate and Fungus, but this is now already like a couple laps ago. It doesn't really bother us, and I think what Eisen is trying to do here, he thinks himself, well, I have to track position, so why would I pit? I just wait for slick conditions and then I pit and I will stay first. And it's actually a really good plan if, and this is a big if, he can really pull it off. Because right now Rootful is all at his back and look at how much overspeed he has. He is going on the outside, and will he be able to do the move? He is! He has so much more grip on this intermediate tire. Oh no! There's an accident!
Oh
Eisen loses the
no.
front wing! He was just squeezed into the wall from
That's a virtual
Rootful, and
safety
there's a
car.
virtual safety car. Eisen's now P3 without a front wing, and he will be furious about it.
And he's gone to the wall. That's
And,
his race over.
uh,
Rest in peace, Nathan. You drove a good race.
yeah. Oh my god, unfortunately we lost Eisen, one of our main contenders. He did a really good race indeed. He was maybe even on a good strategy to wait for the slick tires here, but yeah, obviously this mistake, I don't know if it was a mistake or there was not enough space from Rootful given the camera settings weren't really optimal in this situation, but yeah, like he's now out, and so we have an unusual podium right now with Rootful, Pixel and Maple, not counting time penalties though, so I'm not sure about the time penalty situation, but this is really surprising. So Maple is in a really good position. I'm really happy for him if he can bring it home, but it's a big if. We have still 26 laps to run, and I think I will now give over the commentary for some laps to you now as an apology for getting you muted.
No, no,
For the
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm really
So,
sorry, sir.
I know, don't worry about it. You know, it happens. It just happens to the best of us. If you guys didn't know me, hi, I'm Shiv. I've commentated in the SOR league before. I was in the Spanish race before, and I'm the guy making all the historical references So you might not have heard of my beautiful voice, but here I am. Looking at the field at the moment, we got Ruthful Pixel, Maple, the Honorable Gamer, and Hood making up your top 5 at the moment. So we've got AlphaTauri, 1-2, Mercedes, Racing Point, and Renault at the moment. Looking at the current battles, I think everyone
Oh
is
no!
kind of
Sorry,
split up.
as he spun. He was chasing Shoik and he spun into the I'm not really sure what it's called.
The chicane. The
Yeah,
chicane.
exactly. And now he's battling with MiceQ, who lets him through for something. Oh no, MiceQ loses his front wing! What is he doing? He left through the Renault and then he lost a part of his front wing. So this is real carnage. As soon as someone spins out, everyone seems to do the same. And oh my god, this wet race is really providing some special kind of action right now.
Is that the pit?
Yeah, they both know pitting. MySQ is going and AC is going. And you know what I think? I think the 30 minutes we were talking about, it was raining, already almost passed, and they want to pit on slicks, while Colinian P13 is getting a 5-second time penalty, and also Louis getting a time penalty. What are they doing? They both cut the complete chicane after the tunnel, just chasing each other. So this is also really unusual. But LMP13 and 14s are probably just having their own little scrap back there. So we'll concentrate on Jack. He's now 4 tenths behind MySQ and P11, and MySQ is really slow without the missing part of his front wing. So I think Jack is just like waiting for this opportunity to finally get released, get free air out of this slow car in front of him. We have an Honorable Gamer running currently really nicely in P4, got up 2 positions from the start, so he started P6. And now, meanwhile, Rootful did a fastest lap, which is not really surprising, but Immortal Gamer is now on a hunt. He's now getting really racy on the back of Maple, because of course he wants this final podium position, while the 2 AlphaTauri is doing their thing up in the front there. And the question is, can he overtake Maple, and if so, where can he? Those 2 are really close friends, they know each other for a while, they raced for like, I think 10 seasons already. And basically this is what it comes down to, a wet race in Monaco where you can prove how good of a driver you really are.
It's like Rosberg and Hamilton, like Ricardo and Verstappen. You know, it's those type of races where they're friends, you know, they're very close to each other, but they have to battle each other out, and that is the main thing, right? That's the main thing that makes racing so passionate about. I think the Honorable Gamer might go for a little bit of an undercut. I think visibility is starting to improve at the moment. Actually, I think it's starting to get more wet, because as I look at the cameras for some people, especially coming out of the tunnel, the visibility is getting a little bit worse. But we might have to see what happens in this aspect. Remember, guys, we're only 15 laps into this 39 lap Grand Prix, and already we've had, you know, 5 race. No, yeah. I think it's 5 people just straight, no, 4 people straight up retire. Math. No, 5, no, 4, no, 5.
Oh no, Maple almost spins. Sorry for interrupting. Well, Maple really lost the back end there out of turn 1, but luckily no damage for him. He could catch his car, but now has to force India all over his back. But seemingly struggling with dirty air, which is a really bad thing in this game. Like bad thing for the driver who has dirty air. Actually, it's a really realistic thing, and especially on this wet conditions, it's probably really hard to master. So big respect to Honorable Gamer keeping that gap alive and still, staying beyond the Mercedes, trying to wait for the opportunity to overtake.
Speaking of the weather conditions, it does look like the track is drying up though at the moment. Like here is the thing, like it looks like you can, maybe a couple of laps, maybe like lap 20, 25, you could probably decide to put on the slick tires at the moment, but now it looks like intermediates all the way. Gotta get you know, those track positions, as I think it is the battle of Conan. You've got Conan, and then the Renault and the Haas of Johnny. So Conan is actually at the moment he's just being ghosted because he's being laughed by Hood and Johnny. But Hood and Johnny in the Renault and the Haas are both battling it out at the moment. That's gonna be interesting to see, because these guys are both very fast, especially I saw Johnny making those daring overtakes into Casino and Maribo. So we can see what happens as they go through Sandoval and they go through Beau Rivage at the moment. Johnny passes thing, as there's a yellow flag in Sector 3.
It was
No,
Louis,
it's
it was a Williams.
yeah, I think it was just Williams. It's just gotten cleared at the moment. And looking now, they're just going into Maribo Boss. They're going into the Grand Hotel Hairpin at the moment, going very, very, very slowly.
I mean, he's tapping him. He's all at his back, but imagine how frustrating it is. You're just inside the other car, but you can't overtake. I feel so much pity with those drivers right now. They're like, they can't race. I mean, you must imagine they're all racers. They have this blood. They have this feeling. I must overtake. I must get that position, but they just simply can't because of dirty air and those conditions. And this must be really frustrating. So it all comes down to just being patient and just waiting for your opportunity. And this is also what the real mastery of a good driver is. And there are a lot of yellow flags.
There is a yellow insect. Okay, that's just the Williams. Never mind then. But yeah, sorry to interrupt, but as I say in Formula One and many sports, patience is key. Patience comes to those who wait. I think Johnny's just gonna be patient as he does lock up into Sandoval at the moment. You've got Hood making excellent getaways, kind of like Pierre Gasly at the this year's Monza Grand Prix against Carlos Sainz. It seems like that kind of battle for the top 5 at the moment. Looking at the battle across, you've got Maple and the Honorable Gamer obviously battling for the last podium position. Maple trying to defend with the Mercedes, and the Honorable Gamer trying to attack with the Mercedes, but in pink this time. So you know what? Let's see what happens. I cannot wait to see this race when it's shaped up the slicks. I think we can see dry lines already being formed. It kind of looks like Germany 2019. Let's check up on the leader at the moment. Ruthful's got a 9-second gap to his teammate. Pixel's also got a 4-second gap to Maple. So I think the Alpha Towers are going to get a whole bunch of points today, especially Ruthful and Maple. You've got a couple of cars at the moment being lapped, a little bit of blue flag action, as Sebastian Vettel says. But honestly, it's been a very exciting race. You can see the weather is starting to dry up at the moment. You can see the sun slowly coming up, but there is rain galore. Visibility has improved by a lot, but you can still see the I wouldn't say sparks, but you can still see the wetness on the tires at the moment. Going back to the battles at the moment, we've got Maple and the Inaudible Gamer, as there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. I think
that's an Alpha Tauri that spun. Yeah, it was Collini, and he also reset on track like the second time already. I've seen it, so this will definitely have.
Oh, and he's lost his front wing. He's lost his front wing,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen. He has no front wing and a little hope of getting a points position in this race. Will he make it back to the pits, or will he just end up retiring in a corner at Maribo as he goes to the Grand Hotel Hairpin, which is the tightest corner? Is he going to move that with front wing, without any front wing? Yes, he is. Probably just going to pit on the slicks at the moment. The track does look, I guess, good enough for the slicks. If you're a bit of a risk taker, there is a bit of spray. That's the word I was looking for. But it's not too much, as we have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Conan has retired, which means there are only 13 runners within this race. It's definitely going to be a bit of a puzzler. The Sector 2 yellow flag, especially leading into Tunnel. What's that going to do for a lot of people, especially the battle between Maple and the Honorable Gamer, Who and Johnny. But we never know what happened. We never know what will happen as it's cleared, and we're back up racing again with green flags.
Yeah.
So in terms of, yeah.
Sorry.
No,
yeah, well, I want to take over. Yeah, basically, as you said, it's drying up, and you can see John is so much quicker in Sector 1 and 2. He lost 1.2 seconds on the lockup you were mentioning, and then he just got that time back in one lap. So he's so much quicker than the Renault in front of him. But he loses all his time in the last sector, especially in the last two corners and the exit on the main straight. So this seems to be the place where dirty air is the worst. But as soon as we get dry conditions here, we will have DRS assistance, which could spice up the race a lot. So this is what I'm praying for right now. Oh my god, as John almost runs into Hude, and Fungus meanwhile joins, not Johns, that would be a good word pun, but Fungus joins the battle for P5 as well. So he's running in a comfortable distance of 0.8 seconds, and those three will fight it out in the dry, I'm pretty sure about that. And also, what you don't have to forget is the time penalty situation. I have seen that Pixel got a 3-second time penalty, so I thought like, okay, that's good for Maple, he could maybe catch up, but right now Maple is 6.7 seconds behind, so he lost a lot of time in this battle with Inaudible Gamer. He must be also a bit, like maybe a bit unsure about his driving, because he can't get rid of this false India on his tail. And meanwhile, John is going for the overtake. He is diving on the inside, and finally he made it stick. Finally he got Hood out of his way, but Hood is fighting back. He's on the inside into the casino. He keeps the inside. Oh no, he pushes the Haas, and the Haas has to reverse, and he resets on track while Fungus is going by. Fungus is the big winner of the situation. He's now P5, and there is a Force India who made a mistake. This is an Audible Gamer. He made a huge mistake at the chicane, and now he loses track to P3. So there's so many things happening at once after nothing was happening. I'm really overwhelmed where to look and what to commentate. But right now, an Audible Gamer has 5-second interval to Maple, so he's way back of this podium position, and this was a mistake of his own, I believe. Meanwhile, Hude as well can't keep track of Fungus. He's falling behind. He's still P6, and John was the big loser of this whole situation. He couldn't go anywhere. Hude just dived the inside, didn't get the corner properly, and then he pushed John into the wall, and John had to reverse and also reset on track to go back while racing. And Fungus just thinks, guys, thanks for that. I was waiting in a safe distance, and now I got what I wanted. You both fucked up. Sorry for the wording, but you both fucked up and gave me the opportunity to get this sweet P5 back, and now he has 3 air and can't go away, while Hude and John will fight this once again out. I'm pretty sure about that. Meanwhile, we have still Choik on 8, AZ on 9, and Futuristic closing the point position on 10. I'm pretty sure Jack, Marsky, and Louis are just driving and hoping someone will crash here. And actually, someone did crash. This is Marsky, yes. That's also 3-second time penalty. Now he has Mercedes behind him who will lap him now. He's ghosted, of course, but he has still to let the Mercedes by and to let it go, to not destruct him. This is the rule we mentioned before the race. They should all follow. And now he's even more further back from the point positions. So right now, John is back at the back of Hude after he did this brilliant move and then get pushed into the wall. I don't want to blame anyone. This is really hard racing under these conditions. I'm pretty sure about that, but he was the unlucky guy in this situation, and now he caught up all the 1.8 second difference again. So imagine how much faster he must be than Hude is, and now he will definitely try to get that back. He got a really good exit of the last turn, and now he gets wheel spin, so now he loses that back again. But as I said, in the dry condition with DRS assistance, that shouldn't be an issue anymore, so hopefully day will come soon.
Indeed it is. Speaking of day means sunny, and sunny is what the weather is looking like. The weather is drying.
Sorry, John is coming on Hude, and John overtook Hude. He pushed him off a bit. Hude has to brake to not crash into the wall, and now John finally made his second time the same overtake in a different spot there, and Hude tries to get back, but hopefully he won't do the same move again. Yes, no, he doesn't stick his nose in there. John also covered pretty well. He learned from the previous incident, and now he has finally his P6 done. He got by this Renault, but Fang is already 4.9 seconds away, so he is the big laughing winner of this situation.
Oh yeah, Fungus was patient. He waited and he waited for the opportunity, and then he striked. Well, at the moment, the weather, as I was mentioning previously, is looking really good. I think it's time to go on slicks. I think there's not even any more spray at the moment. It's just a little bit of drops of rain. I think the area should be open soon, and we've got 15 laps of this Grand Prix left, so we can see what happens. That's gonna spice everything up. Currently at the moment, Ruthful has been on in P1 as the Honorable Gamer actually goes on the
John goes to the
medium
pits.
tires. Yeah. What is John going to go to? We're gonna see right now, and he is pitting for. Well, I guess everyone is pitting because everyone's going to the medium tires. So I think that's gonna be his philosophy as well. Everyone goes to the medium tires at the moment. Some stay on intermediates, but mainly it's a medium intermediate thing as they're looking on whether they should pit or whether they should stay with the intermediates. Ruthful is a curious case at the moment. We'll see if he pits or not because the fact that his teammate might also want to pit, and he does indeed pit. The leader is pitting now, so it's probably going to shake a lot of things up at the moment. We're looking at Ruthful's pit stop at the moment, and he does pit onto the mediums like everyone else, and he gets out of there very fast, very clean. The AlphaTauri team. That rhymed, and I did not intend for that to happen. Looking at Pixel, I think he's going to get held up in the pit stop. Yep, he is going to get held up in the pit stop, but only just by a second. He is out of there very, very fast. Looking at Maple, Maple's got a penalty, or... Oh, never mind. I guess on my screen he wasn't engaging his clutch, but now he's out of the pits. I think majority of the field, minus a couple of people, have pitted for the medium compounded tires, as Hood makes a last-minute decision to just go in there. Is he also going to pit in the medium compounded tires? Yep, everyone essentially has pitted on the medium compounded tires, and now the race gets more interesting, as it's still wet, but we've got the medium compounded tires to back them up, so we can see what happens there. Over to you.
And it was a really good decision from John to pit there. I don't know if it was Jeff or if it was his own decision, but he pitted there, and now look at the gap to Huda. Like, Huda lost 2 positions to the both Ferraris. Of course, one is on them is still running on intermediates, futuristic, and he still has to pit, but the gap to John is now very big, and John is now at the back of Fungus. He is now very racy after sticking to Hudas for so many laps. He wants those positions. He gave up to Fungus unwillingly back. And now he will even have DRS assistance on the main straight, or he will even try it right now. So this is his moment to shine. He still can get up to P5, but I think P4 is not realistic with his 18-second gap. And AZ is out of the race. AZ was going into the point positions. I think he just decided to retire because his car is still going through Sector 1, but he retired on track with a P10, and this would have still been a point, maybe even more point. No, he is now split 2, so it's just 1 point. And now we have, of course, yellow flags everywhere, while John is still hunting Fungus. He was almost running to the back of him, and now DRS assistance, the rear wing is open for the first time of this race, but it's still not enough. So like the dirty air must be really, really bad through the last corner. It's still not enough. He has to search another opportunity to go by the Mercedes he must be hating so much right now, being in front of him, unrightfully, I would say. And AZ being out means Jake going into the top 10, going into the point positions, which he actually was already in because he's a split 2 driver, and they will be classified differently for split 1 drivers. But this is not important right now. We're still sticking to the race. We will get to the points surely after it. And now, I don't know, like John is patiently waiting, I believe, because the gap is slightly increasing and decreasing from corner to corner. I would think he would be going really, really much faster than Fungus does. But right now he doesn't seem to have the power to do the overtake because he isn't closing the gap at all. Meanwhile, Pixel did a new fastest lap, so now the hunt on the fastest lap is also started because of course all of the driver want to get that one sweet extra championship point for that. So they will try at everything, and I'm pretty sure Ruthful with his 14-second gap will just save all of his ERS and all of his fuel to just try to go for the fastest lap in the end stage of the race. And John makes a mistake. John again breaks himself into the first corner. He's really, really quick, but he's making a lot of mistakes and will cost him again. Now he needs to catch up all these 2.4 seconds he lost towards the Mercedes to try another overtake. So he's not patient at all here, and it might cost him in the end so much. Like, He didn't break anything so far, no front wing, no nothing, but it might still be the case. And Ruffle does a new fastest lap, so maybe he's going for it already as soon as he has fresh tires. We have a yellow flag in sector 3, and that was Jack. For some reason, he must have made a mistake. Futuristic pitted now. He's on softs, which I think is a really good decision. So he's a really good chance to go to the end. And now they're fighting into P1. And Jack can't overtake Futuristic going out of the pit. So Futuristic sticks to this P9. And now he has soft tires, but he is 45 seconds towards the next point position in P8. So this will be really, really hard to get for him. And yeah, so this is the closest action right now on track. P9 and P10 fighting for actually what is P1 in a split 2, while Jack picks up a 3-second time penalty, so this definitely doesn't help him to get any points here, going so closely through the casino section. MySQ also picks up a 3-second time penalty, and don't forget, P9 to P12 are all split 2 drivers, so basically P9 is P1 in split 2, P10 is P2, P11 is P3, and Louis as the last remaining driver of the complete grid is currently P4 in his own split, and will score still 12 points for running like 2 laps behind the leader. And this is kind of hilarious, but also it has his own spice, you have to admit.
Indeed, it has. Now looking at everyone, we have Ruthful and Pixel kind of in their own race. Pixel's, I guess, catching up by a couple of, I guess, a second or two per lap, but we also have the Honorable Gamer in 3rd position, overtaking Maple. So after, I think, on these slick tires, Inaudible's going to have a lot of defending to do. Got Maple in 4th, Fungus in 5th. Johnny, who was on the back of Maple trying to overtake him, has now, I guess, the lockup has cost him with only 10 laps to go. Will he be able to make it? It is Monaco, and, you know, crazier things have happened, but we can see what happens. Futuristic is a curious case, though. He's in P9 on the soft compounded tires. Will that last him, or will it be a Bono, my tires are gone situation? We will see. We only have 2 drivers who are not walking away with points, and being at the moment MiceQ and Louis, both in the Red Bull and the Williams at the moment. But looking at I guess the field, the most interesting battle would probably be Fungus and Johnny, as the track has, I guess, warmed up. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 2 and Sector 3. It's just been cleared now, is green. Now going through the tunnel, we see the first time on slicks, and most likely going to see some extreme late braking, maybe even some cuts of the chicane, as Johnny currently locks up at the Fungus. Was just going very fast through the corners, as Maple is approaching the start-finish line. It's 9 laps to go in the Monaco Grand Prix. It's been a hell of a time, but we can see these 9 laps could change the course of everything. Looking at the leaders, it's still an AlphaTauri 1-2, as MiceQ actually pits. I think it was just a penalty that he had to serve. He's in 12th, so it's not really going to change anything. I got Ruthful, Pixel, and the Honorable Gamer, who is locking up and is going to have a very hard time defending from Maple currently at the moment. We have Johnny, and we got Hood trying to search for Johnny. We've got Johnny trying to get Fungus to get in that top 5. Fungus has got a hell of a lot of work to do, but you know, we've got 8 laps left in the Grand Prix, so we can see what happens. If we look at the leaders currently of Ruthful and Pixel, they're in their own race to have their respective. Like, Ruthful's got a nice 15-second gap, so if he wants to, I guess, get the further extend this advantage to get to the soft tires, he can do so. But I think you're gonna play it safe around Monaco. You don't really want to really risk anything at the moment. The Inaudible Gamer again has got some defending to do as well, because he's going to be attacked from Maple, as Maple is locking up a little bit into Sandovo, tries to get some late braking done. We got Fungus, who's trying to defend from Johnny, but he's doing some really defending, is actually getting away a lot better than usual. But you know, how long can that last for? You know, what's gonna happen when, you know, Fungus, or rather Johnny, is in DRS range? But we can wait to see at the moment. as Fungus is making a couple of lockups. He's going through the hairpin section. There's a yellow flag which just been cleared in sector 1 and 2 at the moment. Looking at the tire situations, all mediums except for Futuristic, who in the Ferrari is on the soft compound of tires. You've got Louis, who is in the Williams being lapped. You've got Maisky in the Red Bull being lapped. You've got Jack in the Racing Point also being lapped at the moment. Looking at the battle between Johnny and Fungus, it's an interesting one. You can see Johnny visibly getting closer, but I think one small mistake and he's gonna go as he is now currently in DRS range. So we're gonna see how that pops up. I don't think he is going to be close enough unless he makes a like huge dive bomb into Sandoval. He does not make that, but he might be able to get it through Massenet and through Casino for the second DRS zone, where we can see what happens. And as we're approaching Mirbu at the moment, he's just some late braking, no locking up, very professional. Actually, a little bit of a lockup from Johnny, going through the Grand Hotel hairpin and going to tunnel. Now, tunnel is going to be very important because with the chicane, it's going to be interesting as Fungus makes a brilliant getaway trying to, I guess, not really chase Maple, but Maple's kind of in his own game at the moment, trying to chase the Inaudible Gamers. We'll see what happens there. We see Fungus trying to chase Johnny at the moment, or rather, Johnny trying to chase Fungus. Apologies. And we can see that Johnny is getting closer, but Fungus has been getting those wonderful exits as he does currently lock up. Johnny tries to not lose the rear end as Hood gets into the battle as well, although he may not be able to make anything too well. He might pull a Fungus, I guess, and might take advantage of someone else's failures. There's 6 laps left to go within this Monaco Grand Prix at the moment, and it's been an action-packed one. Looking at the rest of the field, we have them pretty spread out, especially the leaders at this point. Leaders are very comfortable. You know, they're in dry conditions. They're on decently worn tires, but it's nothing they can't handle. Looking at it now, I guess the main thing is to see the Inaudible Gamer actually achieve that podium position. We are getting a couple of yellow flags, and the reason for this would be due to the Williams and the Red Bull, and pretty much all the cars that are getting lapped at the moment due to I guess getting lapped. So we have currently updating you on the settings. An AlphaTauri 1-2, Racing Point in 3rd, Mercedes 4-5, a Haas in 6th, a Renault in 7th, both a Ferrari 8-9, and a 10th for Racing Point, and the 2 not scoring points positions would be the Red Bull of Maisky and the Williams of Louis, and the rest of the drivers either hit the wall or just plain retired from the race as Pixel spins in the chicane. That's his front wing gone, and that could mean that he has lost his position. Oh my, he's got a gap to the Inaudible Gamer, but that might just be an easy P2 as he's just gotten the left end plate just completely gone at this point.
Yeah, indeed. So this really hurts Pixel, but I think he won't pit anymore. The 10-second gap will hold. While I was checking the time penalties in the last few laps, only Fungus has a 3-second time penalty and Pixel as well. So with Pixel's 3-second time penalty, he still has a 7.5 second gaps. I don't think this is feasible in 4 laps, even though he has a broken end plate, so he really did the best out of it. The most interesting part, I think, is John. While he was chasing Fungus, you said Fungus get a good exit. This is true, but John also made a mistake on the exit into the tunnel, so he hit his car onto the right side of the wall. He didn't lose a part of the front ring, it seems, but he still got kinda, I think, insecure after that and started making mistakes, maybe for makeup for these positions, or not the positions, like the time he lost there. And now he has 2.3 seconds to Fungus, but Hude also seems to have made a mistake because he's now in 2.9 seconds of John, and I'm not sure what happened there, but oh yeah, he made a huge mistake. Both end plates missing. He must have like an orange front wing, I believe, and this allows now Shoik to maybe get this sweet P7. Meanwhile, as I said, Pixel and Fungus having both a 3-second time penalty, so if an Audible Gamer can catch up more, he might get even that P2, and Fungus right now would be only P6, because he has 3-second time penalty, and the gap to John is only 2.8 seconds, so a lot of things can still happen, as you've seen with Hude, for example, and with Pixel. There are still some mistakes to come in his closing laps. The only thing I'm pretty sure about is that Rueful will take that P1. I mean, he has 30 seconds of a lead almost, and even though if he makes a small mistake, he will stay in front. What I don't understand though is that Shoik is pitting right now, so he must have either have also front wing damage, or he just decided he doesn't want to be undercut by Hude, which I don't believe, so probably it was front wing damage after all. He comes out though in P7, maybe going for the sweet fastest lap, and has Hude at his tail, but I think Hude can make this up, although Shoik has a 3-second time penalty. We still have Futuristic P9, Jack 10, MiceQ 11, P12 on Louis, which are the Split 2 drivers who will score the points for their own split only. So Futuristic is currently winning the Split 2 race, although he's only in P9 overall. But as I say, this is a merged race, so the points were given regarding on the split the people are currently driving in. So right now in Split 1 it's Rootful, Pixel and Audible on the podium, and Split 2 is Futuristic, Jack and MiceQ taking P1, 2 and 3. Jack is pitting again, having a big of a gap towards MiceQ, so probably also trying to get for the fastest lap at least 4 P2. Choik meanwhile laps MiceQ. MiceQ does it very well, just lets him pass. And right now we don't have really big battles on track, so I don't think many things will happen here, although like of course people can make mistakes, but still they probably won't, because it's only 2 laps to go and they want to secure their position and don't make any mistakes, so we can get to the funny stuff. Looking at the pit stop situation, we have Fungus running on P5 with 3 stops, which is really impressive. Behind him is John with 2 stops, then 3 stops Choik, 3 stops Hude, 2 stops Futuristic, and then we have 4 stops Jack and amazing 7 stops MiceQ. And with those 7 stops, he isn't even last in the grid, which is Louis with only, I must say, 5 stops. So this is like Monaco, how you know it, just getting everything from the drivers, letting them pit for another front wing after making any mistakes, and yeah, this is almost what we expected. I think the action is almost out. Of course, there could be some things happening, so we are not done here yet until the finish line, but the positions seem pretty fixed, and for now it seems like it will be the both AlphaTauris and P1 and 2, which is really good result, at least for Pixel. For Rootful, we are known from him that he is taking the win from time to time, but Pixel on P2 is really impressive. Also for the driver standings, he will rise up for a lot. We have an Audible Gamer for now running in P3, probably coming home P3, very well deserved, very good race. Maple after that good start could only fix for a P4, and Fungus being a patient, the most patient person on the grid, which is of course also a good thing, probably taking P5. We are not done here yet, so I don't want to jinx anything, but also can't see anything changing here. And for Split 2, Futuristic doing a pretty good race, coming into the finish line on P9, soon taking the P1 on Split 2. There is Jack taking the P2 and MiceQ P3, which is also really good. And Louis, although he's last on the grid, I'm really happy for him. It will mean 12 points for Split 2. These are, I think he had 1 point previously in a championship, so this will help him a lot. And yeah, is it something... So what did you like the most from this race, as we are now in the closing stage of it?
Well, I loved how Ruthful rounds the final corner in the AlphaTauri and wins the Monaco Grand Prix. A well done, a round of applause to you, sir. As he crosses the start-finish line, we have Pixel in second place, just going the chicane at the moment. The Honorable Gamer is just soaking this in. He knows he's in P3 unless he makes a big mistake. and I think he's just soaking it in. It's the first podium I've seen from him, and it's a very well-deserved podium. Pixel comes back home to make it an AlphaTauri 1-2. We haven't seen that forever. Then we have the Notable Gamer just rounding the final corner right now. Very well deserved race and very well driven race. He comes home in P3. Maple in the Mercedes pounced on it when it was correct and comes home in P4. Fungus in P5, and Johnny, who could have probably gotten a P4, maybe even a podium had he been careful, comes home in P6. And the rest of the grid, minus Jack, has finished the race in their respective positions. And I say to that, well done, everyone. It was the most cleanest. It was, I mean, for a Monaco lobby, it was clean. It was perfect, and I just feel like it was great. As MiceQ gets driver of the day, very well done to him within the Red Bull. As we're here for the podium celebration, we've got an AlphaTauri 1-2 and Racing Point in third. So France tossed, and Christian Horner will be happy about that. Anyways, guys, this has been Shiv and Polar Haze. I'm gonna go sign off now because I gotta go to school tomorrow. I'll catch you guys later. Pleasure commentating with you, and hope I can see you again.
Yeah, thank you for being here, and I stay with you for the driver interviews. Because I don't have to go to school tomorrow, so stay tuned as we will ask some drivers for their impressions of this race. Thank you, Shiv, for being here tonight with me. It was a pleasure, and see you hopefully on next Tuesday.
Alright, see you next Tuesday, man. Have a good one.
Hello, Pixel!
Hello.
You are the first getting interviewed. You were P2. Congratulations on that. Very surprising for me. Sorry to say that. But actually really surprising result from you. But a very good one. You prepared well for Monaco. You said you had 3 races here today. So take us through your race. How happy are you with P2?
I'm really happy with P2 because in the wets, like when I went into the pits, my tires overheated, so I basically spun into the pits. And then I went for the inters, I believe, yes. And then from there on, I think I just controlled the race from P2 until my spin in a tries or something. It was amazing.
Yeah, great result from you. We've seen in the end you made a little mistake into the chicane after the tunnel and had a little bit damage on your front wing, on your end plate. What happened there?
Yeah, like I thought Root was put in front of me because I saw something black standing still. But I was not paying attention fully, so I turned in and just touched my rail on the chicane.
Okay, but oh, something is going on with your microphone. Yeah, but in the end, still P2. It was a really, really good drive from you, really clean, really flawless. After the safety cars, you had really great gaps towards your teammate Rootful. Was it intentional? Did you want to let him go to give him a little bit of a gap as a good teammate, or did you just have bad restarts?
No, I did it on purpose, but that's mostly to keep Yuda behind me. Because like he couldn't overtake me until the line. So if I just have a bad exit and then go on the power fully, he has to lift off and I can be in front.
All right. Yeah, so towards the end, you got now P2, so you consider to fight for the championship from now on, or was it really one good race from you?
I think this it will be further. I think I always had the bait, but just was caught up in incidents. But I think it can be better.
All right, then thank you for the short interview. We have a couple more people wanting to be interviewed, so congratulations, very great P2 and podium, and hopefully we see that good results in future races from you. Enjoy the evening.
Yeah, same to you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
The Inaudible Gamer is the next guest here at the interview station, so it's an amazing P3 for you. Before the race you were like, oh, so many walls, I will probably crash, and now it's a podium place for you. Take us through the race.
Well, I had a rubbish start, actually. I thought I'd have a better start than that, but oh well. And it took me a while to get used to the wets, because I haven't actually driven it in this game before properly. But basically, things happened ahead. I overtook people when they sort of crashed or went slower, and that was basically it to getting up to Maple. And then Fungus went in the pits and everything, and I was pretty sure I was much faster than Maple, and then couldn't get past it because of Monaco. So that's basically it. And then he hit his wing, didn't he? So that's basically a summary of the race for me.
Yeah, you were a lot of the time behind Maple during the wet conditions. What was going through your head? Were you trying to find a spot to overtake? Were you waiting for a mistake? Were you just waiting for the dry conditions because you felt you were faster? What was going through you? What is happening in this situation, and how bad was the dirty air for you?
Probably the first two. So I was waiting for a mistake and trying to overtake, because he would agree I'd probably be about a second quicker in the wet, because I just like the wet compared to dry. I knew I was going to be absolutely awful in the dry because I had a full wet setup and I'm not as good in the dry anyway, so I was trying to get past as quick as possible, but it couldn't happen because every single time he just placed his car perfectly, and on the straights he just shot away because of his setup and everything, so it was very hard to get past until he made that mistake, of course. And then sometimes when I was following him, I misjudged the chicane and I hit my rear tyre on the wall and spun around twice. So that's that. But yeah, I was just trying to get past and wait for a mistake at the same time.
So how happy are you in the end with a P3? Is it what you have expected from this race? Is it more than you wanted? How do you think about it?
It's definitely more than I wanted, because I started P6, I think, so I'm very happy with that. Didn't expect so many people to crash out ahead of me. So yeah, I'm very happy with P3.
Yeah, and towards the end, you were P3 now, so does that mean you're a championship contender now, or how is it going for the next races?
I don't think I'm a championship contender because you've got Jesse and Rufel here, but I'm aiming for the top 4 in the championship. That's my goal. Top 4 I'd be pretty happy with, especially with Hugh, because he's a very good component to race with.
Okay, so in the end you're really happy I wasn't racing today, so I couldn't get points.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good. No worries, man, you're welcome. Just joking. Again, congratulations, a very good P3, very well deserved, very clean drive. Like, okay, a couple of mistakes, but everyone did mistakes. So good result in the end. Good luck in the upcoming races, and thank you for taking this interview.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for commentating.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so our next guest is gone, so we take Maple. Hello, Maple. I didn't hear anything.
Hello there.
Oh yeah, now I hear you. That's good. Okay, mates. So P4 in the end. For the majority of the race, you were in the podium positions. How disappointed are you to end up outside of them?
Can you hear me? Fuck this shit.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm very disappointed. Like I had P3 the entire race. I had the setup advantage over Inaudible, and on the cold mediums I just spun it. Like broke my wing, couldn't even catch back up to him, and after that I just got more wing damage because of that wing damage. So not a great race after all. Or like I would say it's good points for the team against Racing Point and whoever the other team is. We are racing, I believe, Williams. But yeah, I don't know what I can say. I could have gotten my first no-line podium here, you know.
Yeah, it was a very chaotic start. Hood overtook both of your Mercedes on the start, and then there was this little scrap at Fungus who was in the front and then was basically holding you up, then made a mistake, you overtook him. What was going through there? Did you have some kind of team intern communication? Did you say, let me through? Or, yeah, like, take us through the starting phase.
Basically, after qualifying, we saw that ISN had a penalty, right? So we thought that we can get Mercedes a podium by one of us being the back gunner and the other one is just shutting off into the front. So we decided that since I'm in front, I'm going to be in the front, and Fungus will just cover me off the entire race as long as he can. But instead of doing that, he logged up into turn 1 and pushed me wide into Sandavot, and that way Huda could overtake both of us, and he got front wing damage to add to that. And into the sector 3, that's why he basically spun, because of the front wing damage. He turned too much to counter out the oversteer or the understeer, and he got oversteer because of that. So he had a half spin, and I could go past there, and then he just held up everyone behind us. And then Pixel went into the pits, right, because he had overheating tires, I believe, during the safety car phase, and he took Huda with him into the pits, so I could overtake Huda while he was recovering back to the track. So
Yes, we saw that. Yeah, actually, Pixel claimed that it was an accident. He just span out and got under the pits, so that was pretty funny. Obviously not for Huda, but good for you. Yeah, so that little scrap with Fungus was really hilarious. We didn't see all of it. But that explains your strategy. It was really smart from you guys, starting from P4 and 5. And you had a lot of screen time while fighting Inaudible Gamer, obviously for the podium positions. That was really exciting. He said you were placing your car really, really good, and we agree on that. So what was going through you? I mean, you've seen he was quicker than you. He was catching up, but then he was at your back and you were covering perfectly. Did you practice that? Did you prepare for that? Or was it just like driving in the middle of the track and he can't do anything?
I literally practiced like 30 minutes before the race. So no, I did not practice anything like that. I guess it comes with experience. I've been doing this for like 3.5 years now. And I'm pretty sure I'm more experienced than he is. And we know how Monaco is, right? Like if you just put your car in the middle of the track, they can't overtake. And I went for the Alfa Romeo strategy basically. So I had 6 front wing in the rain, and no one could shoot past me through the straight. Maybe Pixel with the 411 wing he had.
All right, so P4 in the end, unfortunately not on the podium, but still 12 points for you. So kind of good charge there in the midfield battle, as you called it, previous this season. What do you expect for the rest of the season regarding that result?
Well, considering Baku is the next track, I would say it's going to be something like this, survival of the fittest, especially in the rain. And for the rest of the season, we will see. I mean, the second half of the season is always my weakest part, or like the Japan to US, Mexico kind of phase. So I need to stack up some points before that.
All right, thank you for being here at the interview. Congratulations again on 12 points. A bit less than you probably have expected, but still a good drive from you in this chaotic situation. And good luck in the pre-coming races.
Yep.
Hello, Jack.
Hello, Polar.
So, you had some interesting race, I would say. So, we had merge splits today. You came in, I believe, P10 in the end, which is P2 in your split. So, you will go home with 18 points despite being at the back of the grid. How did it feel? How did you feel about this whole merging thing, and what do you think about it in future?
It was eventful race from my perspective for sure. Wing taken off on lap 1 wasn't ideal, but I think it was a good recovery drive. Never really was contested from behind because of the rotationary characteristics of my rivals. But I think the split racing, the combined racing was fun. It meant that it wasn't just driving around on my own. There was some people to race. There was more to worry about when getting a clean run for the fastest lap attempt at the end. But yeah, I enjoyed the race. Obviously, a bit frustrated because I know I probably could have won it if I'd been a bit cleaner. But you can't really complain about P2.
All right. I still have maybe to stay with the topic. Like, there were only 4 drivers from Split 2 coming into the finish and actually scoring points. You were one of them and got 18. So how does it feel compared to a normal race? Like, knowing there were only actually 4 guys competing with you. So does this P2 feel somehow different?
No, I feel you can only concentrate on your own race. I did what I had to do, kept out of the wall, didn't DNF, finished, got the points. So I feel like, it just, you have to have the concentration around a track like Monaco. And a P2, regardless of the circumstances, is always something to be happy about.
Agreed. So congratulations, on that again. I'm not sure who got the fastest lap in your split. I have to look it up.
It was futuristic.
It was futuristic. Okay.
Yep,
so
there was 200s in it.
Oh, that's a shame. So maybe towards the end, how did you feel about the conditions? So the conditions were really difficult. It was a lot about guessing when to go into the intermediates, going onto the slicks, and also a lot of people just randomly pitting because of front wings. So very chaotic race with a lot of safety cars. How was it for you? Were you just mainly focusing on a strategy, or was it for you just, driving, trying to avoid the walls, not making any mistakes? What was going through your head the most time of the race?
I was just mostly focusing on keeping out of the wall myself, because I knew the attrition of a track like Monaco. If you finish, you're going to get good points. But I was one of the first to go into the intermediates, if I remember rightly. My wets dropped off really quickly for some reason. And I just thought I'd throw it onto the inters, and they were really quick from the start. And they felt really good. The conditions were challenging, but as soon as the track started drying up, it really started drying up, and I gained about 7 seconds on futuristic under the changeable conditions. But then, unfortunately, I had a penalty that wasn't my fault, and that sort of dropped me back behind him. Otherwise, I would have come out in front of him, which I feel like if I had managed to come out in front of him after the stops onto dries, the race could have ended up entirely differently. But it was, the conditions were okay. Obviously, never going to be easy in the wet at Monaco. Probably one of the worst tracks that it could be wet around. But it was. The first couple of laps on each tyre compound were difficult, but once you find out the limits, it feels fine mostly.
Well then, congratulations again onto the second place in your split. And I mean, you were even into the points on merge splits, which is also an achievement, I guess. So very good race from you there in the end. I think it was definitely an exciting one. Thank you for joining me here in the commentary on the interview. And have a nice evening. Enjoy the win and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, Will. Thank you very much.
Hello, Choik.
Hello there.
So, take us through your race. It was really eventful, I would say is the right word.
Yes and no. I mean, I had no pace on the wets, but that wasn't because I didn't have faith in my car, but I didn't have faith in my actual legs because I was so twitchy in them. I felt like if I put the power down more than 50% because of my twitch, I just slam it down 100, so I just spin. So I don't know. I was more cautious than I normally would be, and that's, safety cars didn't really do a lot because I just saw everyone in front of me just drive away. And then on the dries, you can easily throttle, so I got more confidence and I got faster as well. But I don't know. I was just driving around at the back, got very close to both John and I guess Huda, and a bit with Fungus as well at the start. But it's like a 10-year-old trying to reach the top shelf. My fingers were not long enough to reach. But basically that's what happened. Not a whole lot besides that.
So it was also really I would say, chaotic race, a lot of safety cars, weather changes, a lot of things to think about, and you were running in the middle of the field the most time. What was going through your head? Were you just focusing on strategy? Were you trying to catch up to someone? Were you just trying to do your own race, not making mistakes? How was the race from your perspective?
I said to myself, keep the car on track, avoid barrier, and positions will come. And considering I started 10th and got 7th, I think that's been very successful. I took a bit of a risk. I felt like I went 2 laps too soon on the mediums, but that didn't really matter. And I was basically spot on the inters, so that was pretty alright. And the rest I was just like, people in front of me, people behind me, everyone will make mistakes. So if I just focus on not making mistakes myself, then it doesn't really matter if I'm a second slower per lap.
Yeah, in the end, you had Huda in front of you, who was basically your main rival, and he had to pit because he made a mistake. And you went into the pits as well, which really surprised us commentators. Can you explain that step?
Okay, so I knew Huda had front wing damage, so I knew he wouldn't overtake me in the pits or be close behind me after the pits. I had 3 seconds, so did John, and John and I, from what I could tell, were so similar in pace that I would not have gotten close enough to him to overtake him in the last few laps. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to try to get fastest lap. I know Huda has front wing damage. I know he doesn't have penalties, but if he has front wing, he'll be at least 6 seconds behind me after the pit stop. That's what happened, and unfortunately he got, by like half a second, he got fastest lap. So that was just something to try, because I knew I wasn't going to get P6 on track.
Yeah, that's unfortunate with the fastest lap, but I understand the move. Last question, as running basically like in the midfield or in the end at P9, I believe, you were one of the closest split 1 drivers towards the split 2 drivers. So what was your perspective of the split merge? Do you think there was some gain from it? Did you have some battles with the split 2 drivers? How did you feel about it?
I felt like I was faster than every single split 2 driver. Maybe not at the start because of the traffic and stuff, but eventually even like Futuristic and Jack, who were P1 and 2, were like 30 seconds behind me. Futuristic even said to me, I'm losing 2 seconds per lap. So in that regard, it's fun because you have like the kind of like multi-battle idea, like LMP1 and LMP2. It's good for the health of the league because even if it's split 1 and 2, people like racing with more racers, or I do at least. I'd rather race with 15 people than with 5, and so forth. But yeah, like I said, this was more my actual physical body not being able to like form properly. So maybe that's why I was more to the back, rather than me not knowing the track or not feeling well. So yeah.
All right, Dan, thank you for being here. Thank you for answering the questions. Shame you didn't end up more in the front, but there are still a lot of races to come, so look forward to them. Enjoy the evening and see you in the future.
You too, my friend.
And last, but of course not least, our race winner, Rootful. So, Rootful, it was a pretty easy win, I would say. Take us through it. Were you bored? Were you watching TV while driving, or what was it for you?
I was thinking about life, actually. I didn't really have that much to do. But I had an accident with Eason, I believe. Which I haven't had time to look at, but I think it was my fault.
Yeah, we saw that on stream. I'm also not sure whose fault it is. I don't want to judge here. It was also a strange camera angle, but yeah, Ison aborted the race after that. But I mean, despite that incident, it was pretty clear that every time. Also, you had your teammate right behind you who was basically backing the pack up. Was it something you two talked about? Was it planned, or how did you feel about it?
Maybe. We always have a little chit chat before the race. I'm really happy that he finished P2. It was good points for us. While Jesse isn't racing for some reason. I would really like him to race today. It would be fun to have someone that a little bit more of a faster guy. He's faster than me, so I need to keep up with him.
All right, so you seem really sleepy after this race. I can really understand that. So I will ask you basically only one or two more questions. So how did you feel about the split merge? As the driver in front, you had some overtaking or some lapping to do with ghosted cars. Mainly, from what I've seen, they were like making space pretty well. Did you like the idea? Did you not like it? How do you feel?
I don't know, but did my SQ stop like 7 times or something?
Yes, he did actually.
Because I passed him like 4 times, I believe. And like, oh, there's my SQ. Oh, there's again and again. And there's Louis as well. I passed many times. But I'm happy that it was ghosting on for the lapped cars. So I didn't really have to bother. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually it was a really good guess. My SQ pitted exactly 7 times, so not bad there.
Really? Oh god.
Yeah, and Louis 5 times, so this was a record, I believe. So last question. Do you think the race would have had the same outcome if Pixel would have not qualified P2? Like, I mean, there were some fast drivers with Ison and like Huda. You think you would have had more of a trouble without your teammate backing you up?
No, I don't think so. I believe in the first, after the safety car, I'm pretty sure he was backing them off because I gained a lot of time really fast. And if he wouldn't have done that, I would have pushed more, and then I did. So I don't think anyone would have challenged me actually.
All right, I don't think so either, but I wanted to see your side of things. Yeah, very flawless race from you. I didn't see any mistake from you, but also you didn't have to push, as you said. So very calm one. Still deserved win, obviously. I congratulate you for another win in this league. Nice you're still sticking with us, although it sometimes seems really easy. But Jesse is here to challenge you, so hopefully we will see some good duels from you two in the future. And yeah, good luck, have fun in the future races, and see you hopefully next Tuesday. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
So, and this is what we finish our interviews with. It was a race winner towards the end. I'm very happy that I could have been here today with commentating. It was a really exciting race. Many things happened, not many overtakes, but still like mistakes here and there. And yeah, we will finish the stream off here. Next Tuesday, we'll hopefully have your known commentators back with Justin and Shiv, and I will be racing to give you some laughs on track by outbreaking myself again. It was Polar Haze, and before that you also heard Shiv with me. We were commentating today for you, so thank you for watching, and see you next Tuesday with the SOR race in Baku. Have a nice evening, have a nice week, and see you.